So Mitch, I'd like to call you out, Mitch. And would you like to just tell the gathered throng a little bit about yourself, your story, what what your journey looked like from your previous career, your previous life to that of earning from a laptop?
Okay, so hello everybody. I'm not sure because quite a few people have popped up now, so I can't see which people have come through me and which are people who've come through John, but it doesn't matter because John and I chitter-chatter a lot together. My story, for those who don't know, is my wife and I decided we didn't like working hard in London. So we sold up everything, we moved out to Portugal, and we bought ourselves a building that we turned into a bed and breakfast and a cafe and a restaurant. And we thought it would be perfect. And two things went wrong. The first thing that went wrong is COVID came along. And they passed a law in Portugal, and I think everywhere in the world, is that you couldn't have people in a restaurant. And then they passed a law in Portugal that you couldn't travel away from your home. And suddenly, our whole new venture of setting up a bed and breakfast was coming undone because nobody's allowed to come to the bed and breakfast and nobody's allowed to come to the cafe. And I just started losing money. And that's when I bumped into one of the videos and started watching Stuart. And I started setting up the business. We've now set up three. The one that runs Modern Wealthy, one that teaches people how to run a guest house, and of course the one for our guest house. So now everything's on the up and up. The guest house is not full, but I guess that's got to do a lot with nobody comes to visit in the winter. So that's another thing we didn't know in the beginning. And but I'm making money from the training website that trains people how to run their guest houses, and I'm making money from promoting Modern Wealthy. Later in this year, when it gets to winter and the guest house isn't so busy, I'm going to start a fourth website. I'm not sure what yet, but if each one can earn me $1 or $2 grand a month, I go, that's fine. I'm going to build back up to what pension I'd always imagined. And I think by the time I'm 65, which is in 3 years' time, then I'll be sitting, I won't have to work on the website so hard because a lot of the stuff is new to me now and I'm still in the learning phase. And hopefully I can start to enjoy life and let the websites do all the work, because that's what Stuart says got to be our target. And I think he's right. That's what I want to get to. So that's my story. And in the last few months, 4 months, I met a guy called John Thwaites. He's on the top left of my screen now. And he's also doing the same thing. And it turned out that he seems like quite a nice chap. So he came to visit us here. He's visiting us again at the end of July. And we just started doing things together. And I think that's such a useful thing because I missed some things on the training and I asked John. John misses some things and he asked me. And so we're working as a little like team, if you like, to build up our different businesses. So that's my story. And now John's going to tell his story. Interesting stories, eh?
Yeah, I'll keep it really brief. I don't want to bore anybody here, but thank you very much, Mitch, for telling us all about you. And yeah, similar story. I had a woodworking business. I used to make wooden furniture in a barn out the back of my farmhouse in Italy, up until COVID happened. And with lockdown, obviously all the timber merchants closed down, all the clients evaporated, and that was it. There was no money coming in, and it was desperate. So I had to find another way. And having that time, that enforced time to do nothing other than potter about in the garden, iron all my shirts, do the spring cleaning and spend time on the computer, I went in and had a look at the government.uk website and looked at my pension forecast, which I qualify for next year. And when I realized how little it was, I thought, oops, I'm not going to be able to afford to stop working. Okay. So all of a sudden there was a huge motivation and sense of urgency to address this looming problem. I'm going to be old, but I don't want to be old and broke. Okay. And so I rummaged about on the internet and I thought the way to go has to be online, doesn't it? All of the biggest companies now globally, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, yeah, I mean, there must be more, YouTube, Google, all of these companies are online. Okay, this is where it's at these days. And I know there's some resistance from some people of our generation to anything techie, IT or computers. But I honestly believe that it's where you need to be these days. And so I went looking for an education. What I wanted to do was find out how to sell my stuff online, how to sell my woodwork online, work a little bit smarter, make things in batches, make small things and ship them. Okay. And I found the education that we're introducing you to. But when I came into the education, my mind was blown, because all of a sudden I discovered affiliate marketing, and you don't even need a product these days. Okay. And some of the commissions run into thousands of dollars, and it's ethical. Okay. It's ethical. You can do good work. You can do work that you're proud of. You can make an impact. You can do something meaningful. All right. It's not just about the money. And it has to be about more than the money as well. You know, I think at our time of life, you want to feel in alignment with your work. There's a lot of dissatisfaction in employment, and it's for this reason. You know, people are working for companies that they feel their own value system is out of alignment with that of the company, and the companies are maybe up to something unethical. All right. So yeah, companies can hold you back as well. We've all got untapped potential. And if you're not intentional about exploring of what you are capable, you will never know if you're in that kind of situation. Right. So this is like a happy, fertile environment. This community, this global community of students and online business owners that we're going to introduce you to, that will just, if you should you choose to get involved, it will just elevate your life. It will open up all manner of opportunity. You'll meet some amazing people. Everybody's positive and upbeat and oriented towards their own success, whatever that may look like. Okay. And consequently, it's just a really cool place to be. And Mitch and I certainly have become an evangelist. So I've been through the training program, and I now promote it, and this is how I earn my money. Okay, I've had a number of 5-figure months. The income is a little bit erratic. You're working for yourself. It's not quite like the safety net of a monthly salary, but at the same time, there's just huge potential. And I've met people that have, you know, gone on to. I don't want to talk too much about the money, but you know, you can take this wherever you want to take it. Okay, there are people that come here and they want to become a millionaire, and they can be. All right. There are other people, they just want to double or treble their pension or boost their income, and they want a nice life. And that's me. Okay. So what we're going to do in a minute is I'm going to share the screen with you so you can see my computer screen. I'm going to give you a guided tour of the actual training program and how it works. Because I can remember before I came into this, I thought it was all a scam. Okay. You see something, you see an advert on the internet or a video on the internet. You know, my thoughts were they just want my credit card details and that's it, they'll be gone. But it's not a scam or a scheme or anything dodgy. It's an education, it's a training program, and it's an opportunity to reskill with rare, relevant, valuable skills. Okay, that's what this is all about. And consequently, it's not get rich quick. It took me around about 5 months to go through the training program and actually launch the business. So the training program, you will not just be learning a thing intellectually. That's not what this is about. You're going to be put to work. There's going to be study, and there are going to be steps to take. And at the end of the modules, you will have a business. You'll have a business ready for launch. Okay, you may not find that credible or believable, but it's very true. Even if you have no business idea or any products, because if you're one of those guys that's just come along with an open mind and you haven't got anything of your own to launch online, then what we always suggest is you take up the affiliate opportunity, or you seek out an affiliate offer to promote, because in that way you will be able to learn about the architecture of an online business. Okay, somebody's got their thumb up. Somebody's giving me a thumbs up. I'm not sure. Tomika. We'll get, if any of you have questions, please type them in the chat, and we can call you out later on after the kind of tour of the dashboard. I know another reason why people come here is I was doing physical work as a cabinet maker. I didn't spend all my time in the woodwork. I had to go to the sawmill and the timber merchants, and I was loading big bulks of timber onto my pickup truck and delivering pieces of furniture, and on my feet all day and breathing sawdust. And there are going to be people out there that, you know, they've kind of had enough of that hard physical labor. All right. And this is a smarter way, because now we're working with our mind. All right. And we're not exchanging our time for money. We're not renting out our time in a job. You know, however you want to phrase that. You know, we're not trading time for money anymore. What we're doing is doing the work once. We're setting up systems. We're setting up automation online, and then those systems do our work for us. Okay, these are automated marketing systems, and they generate sales on auto. And if we can generate sales on auto, then we have an income on auto, and that's what this is all about. So, have I missed anything, Mitch, before I go into the screen share?
No, I think that's all. I've heard a couple of people pinging. Have you got your eye on letting other people in?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They're all in the room. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. No, I think that's all. Let's do a quick run through and then take some questions.
Yeah, good. Okay, right. So let's have a look. So what happens is, what we're going to do first of all, I'm going to show you the LaunchPad, all right? Because LaunchPad is the guided step-by-step, click-by-click program. All right. Let's go in and have a look at what it's all about. So should you decide to sign up, this is the dashboard. You log in, you have your email and password, and that gives you access to the dashboard. And you come into LaunchPad, and it will remember where you left off in the modules. But what we're going to do is go back to module 1 and video number 1, and we're going to have a look at how things operate here. Let's just get rid of these. Okay, so what happens is you've got 6 modules: foundations, business models, niche and avatar, your brand and website. You're going to learn all about internet marketing. Okay, and within each of the 6 modules, there are 10 lessons, 60 lessons in total, work to do. When you've completed the work, you've got a business set up. You've got a website, you've got a landing page, you've got an autoresponder connected, you've got all the analytics and tracking in place. Don't be phased if that sounds like Greek, because back in 2020, all I could do on the computer was send and receive emails and buy things on Amazon and eBay. All right, it's like any journey. It's like learning to ride a bike or drive a car or bake a cake. You know, every expert was once a beginner. Every journey starts with the first step. As you step into the way appears. That's Rumi, the Sufi poet. That's a little bit philosophical. But here we are, module 1, video 1, and you'll find that underneath we've got these various buttons, and here we've got action steps. And what we're going to do is just look, if this little menu jobby top right here, this is our checklist, and there's nothing in there at the moment. Okay, so what we're going to do is just going to click on these. These are your actions with video number 1. It's nice and light to start with. Grab a notebook so you can keep notes. Create a little folder on your desktop to store digital content, and start working on your module 1 study guide. Okay, and as you work through these and tick them off, you can shift them to completed. You can just tick them here and they'll move over to completed. And that's your work in these modules. It's to do the action steps, okay, because that's how you build the business. And where's the study guide? Well, let's have a look under reference links, and you'll find there's going to be a study guide with each module. Right? And you can either print this off and you can work on it, you know, old school, or you can keep it in digital format and store it in a folder on your desktop, and work through it that way. Right? They're going to ask you to join 1 or 2 groups that are part of the community. You're going to join the mentors group and the Modern Wealthy Facebook community. So you can start to get connected, ask questions, see what other people are up to, hear about some of the wins. Okay. I wouldn't suggest you spend too much time on it's a kind of social media thing. You know, your work is to work through the modules, you know, do the study, do the work, get the business built and launched. Okay. The Best Life Blueprint is a 21-day personal development program. It's in place to help you with more of the entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, if you're coming from a career of employment, then and you're going to be striking out on your own, there's a slightly different mindset required. We have to take full responsibility for our results. You don't need to quit your job. You know, a lot of people study and do the preparation stage and even the launch phase of this online business around their day job. You can do it as long as you are consistent with the time that you dedicate to the training. Doesn't matter how much time you spend on the training, it's just important that you're consistent about that time. Okay, and you know, some people take a couple of months, others might take longer than a year. It's not a race. It's about doing the work, being methodical, being thorough. Okay, and learning as you're going. And yeah, so this is how the various lessons work in the modules, and you work your way through. And obviously module 1, it's a pretty high level overview of digital business, right? You're going to, you know, get more of a feel of how we operate online these days. And what will happen is I will guarantee that you will have sleepless nights, because as you work through these lessons, what's going to happen is this whole new landscape is going to open up in front of you, and you will see that the magnitude of opportunity is kind of beyond comprehension. It's enormous. There was one guy in our community, his name's Dan Holloway. He launched one advert on YouTube and it grossed 1.4 million US dollars. Right? He had to spend around about 30% of that on advertising. So it netted him just shy of $1 million. This is, I'm not saying that I'm not even sure I could do that. Okay. I've got a couple of ads running and they earn me, you know, enough to maintain my lifestyle, which I'm very happy about. But you're going to be exposed to new and mind-bending ideas, right, if you come into this training. And another little thing I will mention to kind of take the risk out of it for you is they even offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can come into this training and actually try it out for 4 weeks, get stuck in, you know, and if it isn't for you, then just ask for your money back. There's no, it's a no questions asked policy. You don't have to give any reason. You just ask for your money back and you get it. So this is the way that the modules work. Let's have a look at module 2. This is really interesting, I think, because I know that the objection that a lot of people have, or the question that a lot of people have, is what will I do? You know, what will I do? What will I sell? I haven't got anything to sell. You know, what am I going to do online to make money? Right? So module 2 is about first of all, it's about the different types of business model that exists. There's e-commerce, there's affiliate marketing. You can monetize a passion, leisure pursuit, hobby, or skill, right? There are people freelancing, there are people creating courses, consulting, counseling, coaching. Okay, all of these. We've got a woman who does meditation with horses online, and she monetizes that. Okay, so there is nothing that is daft enough to not monetize, it would seem to me. Okay, and so you're going to learn about all the different business models, and there will be something to suit you. Because, and the reason I say that is because Mitch and I, our faces are out there on YouTube. Right, you know, we're on camera, we're on film. Not everybody wants to do that. We're not influencers. We've got adverts running on YouTube. That's how we recruit our members. Okay, but not everybody wants to do that. If you start thinking about that, do I want to be on video? Do I want my friends to see me on YouTube? You know, there's a little bit of resistance there from most people. Okay? So if you don't want to go down that route, then, well, first of all, there are ways and means of making videos for YouTube that don't require you to put your face on the internet. But then there are also businesses like e-commerce, and there are other ways to recruit clients. You know, Google pay-per-click, Google search ads are just text, right? So you know, you don't have to be an influencer. So I know that's a concern for some people. So you're going to look at all the different types of business models that there are, and there will be something that the idea is, right, we're coming from trading our time for money where we have to give up at least 40 hours a week, right? And at the end of the day, you know, the batteries are low and, you know, we're in recovery mode when we're back at home and at the weekends. And what we're essentially having to do with that model is squeeze a life in around our work, okay? But we're going to come at this from a different angle. And what we're going to do first of all with the passions tool and the incubating you, right? What we're going to do is design the lifestyle that we want to enjoy. Okay, it's called lifestyle design. The phrase was coined 15 years ago in the book, The 4-Hour Work Week. This is nothing new, right? People have been doing this for a decade and a half now. They've been automating their income and they've been living however they want to live. We've got digital nomads now roaming the world with their laptops. Money just comes in the background. Okay, this is the way that digital business works. So the idea is to first of all set up the kind of life that you want and then fit the business in around that. And that's what module 2 is going to help you do. It's going to have to be a business that is in alignment with your skill sets, with your value system, what you consider to be important, okay, and how you want to spend your days. So we're going to set up a business, or you're going to set up a business that is going to be sustainable. It's not just going to be about the money. All right, it's going to be about more than that. Paul McCartney does not continue to make music because he needs the money. He does it because it's who he is. Right, and this is what we want you to set up. Okay. And then once you've been through the various business models and this this dive of self-discovery to find out, you know, where you to find out where you should be, your true path, if you like, then you're off and away, and you're going to be getting into marketing and looking at niche and avatar and your brand and website. And you're going to be taken through the necessary steps and exercises, practical work to do in the study guides to discover your message, if you like, that you're going to communicate via the internet. All right. So let's just have a roam around on the dashboard. So down here, bottom right, we've got this little smiley face. This is, they call this the chat bubble. This is support. Right, so as part of your membership, you've got support that you can lean on, and when you come to module 4 and you start working on your website, you've got tech support as well, who you may need. Right, we'll go a little bit deeper into that techie stuff in a minute, because it don't let it put you off. Right, it didn't put me and Mitch off, and neither of us are techie even now, not particularly. Okay, so you've got your checklist. Over here we've got this, they call this a hamburger menu, don't they? So this is the calendar, right? And on the training calendar, what you'll find is, let's have a look at yesterday. There we go. So, and we'll click on this is the new member orientation call. So when you sign up, should you sign up, all right, you'll immediately be invited onto the new member orientation call, which happens every single Tuesday. All right, it's a live call. Obviously, there are people here from around the world. There might be people from New Zealand, you know, North America, Asia, Europe, South Africa, perhaps. If the timing doesn't work, then what I've done is I've gone into yesterday, and look, what you'll find is this live call, all live calls are recorded. And when it starts up, it is playing. Come on, Justin. Come on,
And
Justin.
George.
There you go.
Hassa, Hisham.
Alrighty. So so what happens is the calendar operates as an archive historically. So all the if you're unable to make a live call, you can watch the recording, and the energy on the live calls is always preferable. What I do if I'm watching a recording, I pause it, I wander over to the fridge, I start snacking and being distracted. Right, that's no good. So if you can get on the live calls, do it. Obviously, you have an opportunity to interact as well, ask questions, and get them answered, and so on and so forth. And you can see that depending on the day of the week, that there are live training calls every day of the week, and you're not going to be getting on too many of these at the outset. A lot of these calls are for one. Well, let's have a look at the website and funnel setup call. Yeah, well, okay. Right, here we go. So for instance, when you get to module 4 and you start working on your website, then the company are going to give you everything that you need, right, to make progress. And here we go. It's a little bit slow because my internet's not all that fast. But there's a couple of experts. There's Michael Essery and there's Martin Strom, right? And they're like these technical whiz kids. And when you're doing the technical stuff, you can jump on these live calls, okay, and you can ask questions and you can get things fixed, and we can share screens and get answers, and you can keep moving, right? So you've got the live call every week with the experts. You've got the tech support, which you can tap into any day of the week. And then if we have a bit more of a roam around the landscape and we go over to mentors, come on. Zoom takes up a lot of bandwidth, and it slows the rest of the the rest of it all down for me. But so over here we've got this trainings tab. We can go in here, and what you'll find is there's probably a couple of little mini courses, and they're all about, here's one, launching your website, DBL site builder 101. So these are little mini courses, and if you're not familiar with WordPress, then you can come over here and you can do a little mini course, and you can find out where you click and what you have to do to edit the site. You're not going to build a site, you're going to be given a site, and it's just a case of editing it. Okay, so you change the colors, you change the images, you change the text, right? And then you just push a button and it's published and it's on the web, right? So it really isn't that tricky these days. So let's go back to LaunchU. I just want to sort of show you a visual of what the learning path actually looks like. So we've got these learning paths up here. And if these are the modules, it looks like a straight line. Okay, you just do 60 lessons, bang, everything's done. But what's going to happen is you're going to come to some of the lessons in some of these modules, and you're going to have to dive off, and you're going to have to get a little bit more specialist knowledge, perhaps, and then you'll come back to the main track and you'll move on, and then you'll dive off again. Okay, and this is what the journey looks like. And depending on the kind of business that you're going to set up and where your existing knowledge is around any of the materials that you're going to be learning, this journey is going to be perhaps slightly different for everybody here. Okay, but this is what the journey looks like. And once we get to the end of the modules with all the work done, that's the point at which we launch and start earning money. And there's even more stuff here. I mean, this training program, LaunchPad, it is, I don't like to use the word insane because all the kiddies use it, but I can't think of a better word. It's mental, the amount of stuff you get for the money. You get to tap into experts, you've got communities, you've got all of the information all in one place. And then you can connect with other people in the community, and you can keep yourselves accountable. You can find a study buddy, and you can get all the inspiration. You can see other people winning. You're in this environment where people are winning and making strides and moving forward and getting stuff launched and making stuff happen, right? And there's nothing better for us than being in that kind of environment, because I think studying and working online could possibly be a solitary experience without that community and without those other human connections. All right. So, Mitch, I'm going to call you out. What have I missed? What haven't I spoken about?
No, you've spoken a lot. Give me give me over the little pointer. I just want to show a couple of things. I don't know how we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry if I'm looking a bit to the side. I've got a little laptop, and that was dead useful when you're traveling around. But when you're sitting at home and you're 62, laptop's too small. So I found out you can buy second-hand screens, and I've connected my laptop to a big screen, and it's nice now because everything's on big, so I can follow everything on big. So this is what I'm saying. They've got all these different things that you can, if you come to a part and you're not 100% sure, you can come down the bottom here, and this is the softer things of personal growth. If you're looking for ideas, getting your branding right, how to work WordPress. But I started by going to the one on YouTube marketing. And you go down here and you can see included in the course, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the best LinkedIn learning training courses on YouTube marketing. So you go in there, and now you can do a specialist course on learning YouTube marketing. And those are also very good courses because somebody has taken the trouble to go through all the LinkedIn learning courses and just put the best ones out. So if you don't want, John was talking about, if you don't want to go and put yourself on video, then you can do something else like marketing on Google. And here's how you learn to market on Google. So there's some basic training, there's advanced training, some new strategies, and analytics is when you look at your results to see how you've done. So they've just chosen 4 of the best courses, and you can follow them through. At the end of them, LinkedIn gives you a little badge to say you've done the course, but it's nice to have a badge, isn't it? So that's there, and that's included as well. And that I found really useful because sometimes the actual training was a little bit too fast for me. And sometimes some of the questions asked, I didn't really understand the question. And I found another thing on you can go in and set the playback speed. And that was dead useful. So I go back to watch some of these technical videos and I set the playback speed to half. And you can actually follow the person's mouse and see what they did. And the best thing about all the technology stuff is you only have to do it once. So once I set up my YouTube ads system and joined Google to YouTube and all of that, I don't have to do it again. And that's what I'm working towards. As I said before, I'm going to try and build another couple of sites, but my ambition is when I turn 65, I think, my wife says I never will, but I think I'm going to stop learning new stuff. And I'm just going to manage the existing projects. And we'll start to travel because that's what Vicky wants to do. She wants to go to Japan. She wants to go to curious places I've never thought of, like Iceland. But okay, we'll go to Iceland. But I just thought I'd add that comment, John. And yes, as I say, John's showing you the calendar. There's the training hub where you can see all the different trainings. So you can go back if you maybe you're working late, maybe you went out to dinner with friends or something. You can come back and find the training program that you missed.
Oh, look, there's me. Look.
Yeah. So here's one of Jumping John teaching people Google Ads strategies. I've done that course, I must say, because what it is I found it a wonderful way to learn because John teaches low-cost YouTube strategy. So you have to have a budget of $200 for 3 months, something like that. And to get through it. I just want to go back to the main one again. And you'll see here, so as I said, I'm working through the first one again. The other one I'm busy working through again is this 90-day affiliate challenge. Now, it took 90 days the first time they did it because Caroline would do a broadcast, and then you've got a week to go and implement all the stuff. I'm coming back to it now, and I just, I continue watching, And it's similar. I just get it's the same format as before. But for example, launching your campaign, you get the modules. She gives you a masterclass. She's got questions and answers, and you go and do the exercise. It's for me, that was the best thing about it. There's just so much material. As I say, I'm now 21 months in, and I think I've got another 2 years to go before I think, right, I've got everything perfect. But not because it takes that long to do. It's because my ambition is to have 5 different sites, all of them working and all of them earning money. All of them earning an income.
Yes. Yes.
Back to you,
Yeah.
jumping John.
Yeah, good. Okay, all right, thanks. Yeah, so you can be as ambitious or as modest as you like with this. And I think another thing that I'm trying to read some minds out there. When we've looked at Facebook ads and YouTube, and you saw TikTok and 1 or 2 other social media platforms talking about advertising and Google ads. And you know, you don't have to advertise. You don't have to spend money advertising. But I'll tell you why we do it. Okay, the reason it's more popular to actually advertise and it makes more sense is because you get results far more quickly, okay, that you can see, that you can read in the dashboards, right? You can see the numbers, you can see how many people are landing on your page, you can see how many people are actually submitting their name and email address. So you get the feedback. But also, once you've got a campaign that is profitable, once you've got a campaign that's bringing in regular sales, right, it's so easy to scale. You just spend more money. The idea is you spend $1, pound, euro, whatever, you know, currency you operate in, and you get back 2 or 3. That's the model with paid advertising. Okay, if you're spending 1 and you're getting back 2, then you're just going to be wanting to bump the budget up as high as you can bump it up. It just makes sense. It's like a money printing machine. But you don't have to advertise. Let's just talk a little bit more about advertising, because I think something that people don't realize as well is on all the platforms, including YouTube, believe it or not, is you can advertise from $1 per day. You can have an advert running on YouTube for $30 a month. Obviously, you're not going to get the coverage that you'll get if you were spending more, but you'll get enough to get results into your dashboard. And first of all, understand whether what you've set up actually works, right? And then, okay, let's say it works. Now it's about optimization. Now we've got numbers coming in, right? And we can start to identify parts of the customer journey, let's say, parts of the journey that the viewer on YouTube is going through when they land on the page where they submit their name and email address. We can see the behaviors, and we can now identify parts of our marketing system that perhaps require attention because there are benchmarks. Okay, and we can optimize and we can fine tune, and we can and once we've got this machine well oiled, running on all 8 cylinders, you know, and working well, then we just dial up the advertising budget. We spend more, but more comes in. And this is why you've got kids on YouTube standing in front of Ferraris and Lamborghinis, because this is the way things are now. Okay, it's got nothing to do with you turning up at work and doing a job anymore. It's got everything to do with setting up the automation in place online and just allowing it to do your work for you. Did you want to say something, Mitch?
No, it's just on that note. I just before we jump onto Modern Wealthy,
yeah.
I think that people in our age bracket, and I say that broadly speaking, I've discovered that we've got such an advantage on YouTube, on Google, on Facebook, because do yourself a favor, jump on Facebook or one of these things and look at the videos the youngsters are doing. And I promise you, most of them are clever dancers. I'm a bit downgrading. You know, they look at this clever dance, watch this, look how fast I did this, look how I threw this thing far and it landed on the skittle and this. They're having fun on the system because they're born with the damn phone in their hands and they know their way around it. But they've got nothing to say. If you decide, okay, after this call, you want to know how to put a new roof on the shed, type that into YouTube, and I promise you, everybody who comes up is over 40 years old because they know what they're doing. They've been building sheds for a while. They know the ins and outs, and they've got experience. And for me, that's become my secret weapon. We've got experience. And all you've got to learn is how to take that and put it into the digital world. And that's what Vicky and I have done with marketing our guest house. So I thought, okay, I know how to get people into the guest house. And I followed the training, and we've created a course teaching people how to market their guest houses. And it does so well because you go online and you do the ad, and then other people who've got a guest house can see there's a chap who runs a guest house in the middle of Portugal, and he's getting 450 to 500 room nights every year. And that's how the people come on and watch the course. And most people can do that because they've got experience, because we've all, looking at everybody on the group, we've all had a job for about at least 10 years, judging by Andrew and Lucia. Lucia must be at least 32. And what you've got is you've got your experience from all the years. You know stuff. And so either from your work or from a hobby or an interest you have, that's what you go and start to build online. And I think that's the secret weapon for us older folks. Because the youngsters have got the technology down to a T. If you want to fool a youngster, tell him, I'll confirm that by fax. And they just say, what? You say to them, no, I'm going to send it to you on a little machine that's going to type out the message and print it in your bedroom or something. And you better make a copy of it, because after about 3 or 4 days, it's going to start to fade. It's just not their world, And so you've got this advantage. You've just got to learn the technical skills. And for me, it's great because you learn it, but you follow the videos and you do it. So I can't say that I know how to set up a YouTube ad, but I have done it because I follow the training and I put it up, and then it works. I've got no interest in writing an exam on YouTube ads or anything like that. It's done. And that's what I'm striving for. John, I'm just conscious of time, and you need to jump into talk about the actual introduction package, which is our friend Modern Wealthy.
Yeah, the Modern Wealthy. Yeah, I think before I do that, I just want to say, so we've spoken a little bit about paid advertising, okay, and why it's a sensible strategy, but you don't have to spend money advertising on the internet in order to automate the sales process, okay? Because the alternative to paid advertising is organic. It's called organic content, right? So you have to produce content. So you either need to be writing a blog, or you have your own YouTube channel, or you have some kind of Facebook group that offers some value, right? So it's about your time and mental energy. So there are ways and means of communicating with the world, right, and communicating a message and putting value out there and offering solutions to people's problems without actually spending any money. But the paid model is just it's the way to automate it. Okay, it's the way that you take yourself out of the business, and you just set the daily budget and you just allow the thing to run. And yeah, so but I just wanted you to know that there are alternatives. If anybody's got questions, please, as I'm sure there must be ideas and questions coming up in your mind as we speak, please type them into chat and we will handle them. And if we have to run a little bit over the top of the hour, that's not a problem for me either. But so yeah, that was LaunchPad. So LaunchPad gives you the lot. All right. In addition to LaunchPad, there are coaching programs. You can have all the tech stuff done for you. If you don't want to get involved in the tech, you can have it done for you. Right. Obviously you've got to pay something for that. But as Mitch said, the tech stuff is something that just happens once. And the tech stuff really is just the conduit through which the message travels to the world. That's all it is. That in and of itself is not really what's important. What's important is the offer, the idea that you're bringing to the marketplace, the product, the service, whatever it may be, okay, and the communication that goes along with that. That's what you're going to learn here. So yeah, let's go back. So there's a if LaunchPad is too big a stretch, too much of a commitment, too much to take on, right now. Okay, let's go and have a look at Modern Wealthy, because there is an alternative. And so programs. So we've got the Modern Wealthy program. Okay, let's have a look at this. This is a $37 US one-time payment. Okay, guests are just arriving and the dog's kicked off. I apologize about that. Yeah, 37 US is just under £30 sterling if you're in the UK. It's £29.50, something like that. Okay, so you know, I don't know what you have to pay for a round of drinks these days in the pub, but it's probably not so different. And what you get for your £30 or your $37 is mental too. All right, you get the 7-day fast start videos. Let's have a look at these. Just a quick look. So yeah, so first of all, there's an ebook to download, so you can obviously read that. You know, you can read that in bed at night and get familiar with authority marketing on the written page. And then we've got these 6 lessons, which more or less mirror the 6 modules. Okay, so this is a high level overview of the modular training program. Okay, and you're going to this is going to give you this, as Mitch said, this is going to give you all the textbooks. All right, you're going to get all the information, but you're not going to get access to the experts on live training calls. You're not going to get the modules with support and tech support. You know, there's stuff that's missing. All right, some people may be able to figure it all out and actually build a business from this, because all the information is there. All right, but I think that's a pretty good analogy. And so yeah, we've got the videos, and then we've got let's go back to Modern Wealthy, because there's much more than just the videos and the ebook. You're going to be able to register for the new member orientation workshop, and there's one other live call that you can jump on, which is called the Visionary Call. It's once a month. It's usually it's the first or second Thursday, and all the leaders come out. Stuart comes out, all right, on that call, and he talks about, you know, where the company's going. And there's a lot of recognition of affiliates and movers and shakers and people that are making it happen. So you'll see the wins and the success stories. You'll have access to, you know, a couple of these community calls, the new member orientation workshop and the visionary call. And then you get to schedule a vision call with a real live human, and you can talk about your idea or even lack of idea. Okay, if you like, with a person that is actually engaged and employed by the company to assist you to achieve your goals. All right, so down here we've got a Facebook group. It's a private group, so you have to be a member of Modern Wealthy and then you apply to be allowed in. But now you can start to see not just other students, but people like Mitch and myself will be in there that have actually got their businesses running, and you know, we can answer questions and we can share little wins, and there's a bit of a community feel. You'll get a sense of the energy and the positivity that goes along with membership of this training platform. Then we've got a couple of these are completely self-contained courses. Affiliate marketing, we've spoken about that. So you can go into this course, and again, it's a modular course, and you can go through the steps and you can set up a business from this. You can set up an affiliate marketing business from this, or an e-commerce business. If you want to sell stuff on Amazon, Shopify, WooCommerce, you know, any of those e-commerce platforms, that's what e-com is all about. And e-commerce is a way of remaining in the shadows if you don't want to be a face on the internet, right? So there are a couple of bonuses. They're probably worth lots of money. You know, they would have been sold for $500 or $1,000 once upon a time. They're giving them away now. And then you've got this Best Life Blueprint, which we spoke about earlier. It's a 21-day personal development program designed to help you develop new habits and the right mindset that's gonna help you strike out on your own if that's something that you want to do. But I'll just reinforce the point that a lot of people do the study and build the business around their day job. So that, you know, we've got to take the risk out of this. It might be very exciting and yeah, let's quit and go for this, but that might not be the most sensible option, because it took me 5 months just to get started. I started earning money in month 1, but I started plowing that back, and that's how I scaled my business. You know, the money that was coming in each month was growing, so I would spend more the following month, and then it got to a point where I could extract cash from the business every month to fund my extravagant lifestyle. Okay, so what have it's gone, Mitch? You chip in. There must be something that I've missed.
I'm just answering questions at the same time. But
okay. Okay.
So, did you cover and show the additional stuff that's available?
Yeah, we looked at these courses down here.
Okay, great.
The Best Life Blueprint. You've got the Facebook group, and you've got the ebook, which is in among the Fast Start videos, and then you've got the vision call and a couple of live calls that you can get on to actually start to interact with the community and get a feel for what we're all about.
So a couple of questions coming up. I'll just answer some of them here. And I'm also trying to type the answers as fast as I can into the little chat box. And people are asking about the prices of the packages. And do you need to do Modern Wealthy first and then LaunchPad second? So I'll answer the second one. Do you need to do Modern Wealthy first and then LaunchPad? So the answer quite simply is no. When I started, there wasn't Modern Wealthy. You had to commit straight away to LaunchPad and go down that route. And as has been demonstrated, it's very comprehensive. But a lot of people are not sure if this is exactly what they're after. So they take quite a lot of comfort from being able to jump onto Modern Wealthy, look at everything that John's just run through, look at the modules. You get to meet Stuart and an advisor and all these people and see what you think. The other nice thing about the Modern Wealthy course is it's a one-off payment of $37, and you can keep it forever. That's that. Even if you watch the thing and think, this isn't really for me, you can phone up the ladies and there's a couple of guys at the help support thing and say, actually, it's not for me, I want my money back. They'll send you your money back, and you keep Modern Wealthy course. So that's the Modern Wealthy setup. LaunchPad works differently, and I think John's got a couple of, I think he's got a whole example thing he can bring up. LaunchPad is $1,000 a month. As I say, that's where I started.
Stop. You've got that wrong. It's $1,000 a year. It's $997 for a year, not for a month. Not for a month.
That's a big difference. Well, now it sounds cheap, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just give me a minute, and I'll pull up the sign up page in the background. Yeah.
John has to watch my chitter chattering. I get things wrong. I think that's what some people find appealing with the whole program. That if Mitch could do something, then anybody could do it. That's what a guy called Mike said on one of the calls. That if Mitch can build a website, then by God, anyone can build a website. No, but it's true, because as I was saying before, you try something and you put in a sample and it doesn't get to the end. So you go through and you watch the links and you go, oh, this one was supposed to be a 7, and you make it a 7 and you click, put a sample in again. And that's just what I did. So I've managed to get through that whole thing. Have you got a shared screen thing, John?
Yeah, I'm just opening up the page. Do you want me to show the pricing?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Show all the pricing with these charts. And what you'll see if you go into the program, it's not something John and I have prepared. It's the stuff that they will show you.
I've got it. I've got it up. Right. So let's share the screen. All right. So okay. So this is the LaunchPad. So this is the full blown guided 60 lesson, supported program with access all areas. All right. And these are the options. You can either pay $197 month one, and then 99 a month. Okay. And I'm just gonna go into just find out what $197 is in English money.
And also, just to let everybody know, because a few people have asked what happens after the year.
Yes.
After the year, you just carry on paying $99 a month. Exactly. $99 a month.
Exactly.
And I've been doing that now for, as I say, close on 2 years. So it costs me $99 a month.
Yeah.
I get access to everything.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. I mean, obviously there are people that come here, learn the stuff, and then they move on, you know. But Mitch and I, you know, I just think we revel and love just the environment, the camaraderie, the other people. You know, there's 4 or 5 or 6 of us getting together at Mitch's place at the end of this month, you know, and we wouldn't be in touch probably if we weren't all part of the community. So, you know, we love it. It's become our lives. I mean, I'm seriously lit up, you know, evangelical John. So look, 197 US is £155 in month one, and then it would be half of that, you know, which is less than 80 quid, isn't it? It's about £77.50, something like that. Yeah, something like that a month, £77 a month. Or you get a bit of a discount if you pay up front. All right, so I mean, 197 plus, call it 200 plus 11 100s is 1,300, and that's going to cost you 1,000. Right, so you save about $300.
I just did a calculation for our South African friends. That's about 82 million rand.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Sorry
Yeah, but you know what the upside is? They'll be earning in dollars.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Because they'll be tapping into a global marketplace, and all of a sudden, I mean, Tim Ferriss wrote about this in the 4-Hour Workweek. You know, the idea is to earn in a hard currency like the US dollar, and go and live such part of the year, because you can go and live somewhere fabulous like Bali. You know, why wouldn't you, right? If you can just operate from your laptop, and you're a rich person.
I know a couple of South African folks that are doing that, and I don't know if that's exactly what you're supposed to do, but they've got set up online banking accounts. So there's 3 or 4 online banking accounts you can join, and they've paid the money in South Africa. They've done all the work, and all the earnings that they get are deposited into their online bank accounts. There's 3 that I know. I'm with a crowd called, let me have a look on here.
Wise, Revolut, any of those?
I'm on Tide, Tide, Tide.
There's plenty of them these days.
So I think we're at the question time.
Yeah, look, that's again down the bottom. If you're on a computer, I'm not sure what it looks like on a tablet or a phone, but if you're on a computer, and you can see the little reactions button at the bottom. Look, can you see I've put my hand up? It says raise hand and lower hand. All right, so you can put your hand up, or you can put your hand up, you know, your real hand.
Or put your real hand up. Yeah, you don't need a button.
Yeah, you can come out and talk to us. There's no such thing as a silly question. All right, if you're thinking it, you can bet your bottom dollar somebody else has thought it. All right, and we're here for you. You know, we want to. There you go. Look, who's that there? Chris,
and then Michael.
Chris, go first. You can hear me, can you?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
the audio is a little bit muffled, but go on, Chris. You speak to us.
All right. Oh, first of all, thanks very much for all what's been going on. It's been, you know, good to and listen to all what's been said. I was basically thinking, I've got an old ThinkPad which has been around quite a bit, and before starting the course, would it be wise to get like a newer laptop, and would I need a lot of storage space on it, and Word and so forth?
Right, I can answer this question, Mitch, and then you come in if you've got anything to add. Right, so I've got I bought it. It was 4 years old when I bought it in 2016, I think. It's a 2012 Mac. Right, I paid about half the price for it, so it's already 11 years old. And when I started this training, what I did was I took it to a computer engineer, bod person, and I asked him to make a copy of the computer, remove the old hard drive that moved around, and fit an SSD into it, right? So I've got an 11-year-old computer with an SSD drive in it. That cost less than €200 to upgrade. So essentially it's a brand new computer in an old shell. You do not need the latest. It's nice, obviously, to have the latest PC or Mac or whatever it is that you're into, but you don't need it. I don't know. Does a ThinkPad have a keyboard?
Oh yes, it's basically
Yes.
a sort of average sort of laptop. But I was wondering about, do you need a lot of storage?
No. Well, everything lives online, so there isn't really that much that lives in your computer. So what you do is you log in to stuff. Okay, you log into the platform, and that's where all the training lives. You log into LinkedIn Learning, if that's where you go. You log into your autoresponder. It all lives in most of this stuff lives in the cloud. Okay, but obviously these days, storage is useful, and an external hard drive would again do the job. You could either create a copy of your computer on the external hard drive, or you could, the overspill could live in there, right? So it's preferable to have, newer, better, faster stuff, but you don't need it. Okay, you can get by, and the idea.
Refurbished computer.
Yes, yeah, that would certainly do. Yeah, absolutely. And we use and Chrome is the preferred browser. All of the software online that we have to tap into is optimized for Chrome, and that's all you really need to have loaded up onto your machine in order to actually make this work.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, that's much answered the question.
Very good.
Do you Word on the computer?
Word. I've got a Mac, so I'm not sure about Word, but on the Mac you get all the software, and there's something called Pages, and it's compatible with Word. So I don't. Do you know anything about that, Mitch?
I'm not really technical myself. It's I haven't got it on this one because I don't really use it. But I didn't know if you might need it within the course.
No. As long as you've got something you can take notes on or create documents. I mean, what I would suggest is Google Docs. Once you've got your Google Drive set up, all you've got is free. It's completely free of charge. They'll give you everything. They'll give you spreadsheets, documents that you can edit and share. They'll give you the lot. All right. That's the way to go. You do not need Word, definitely.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's pretty much answered the question.
Yeah, there's so much free stuff on the internet. Honestly, you don't need to pay for so much these days, really. Not when you know where to go.
Oh, just briefly, do you know the LaunchPad?
Yes.
Say you've paid for the LaunchPad. Is it sent to your computer, or do you log into it?
You log into it. So you go to a web page, all right? You'll be given a link. As soon as you sign up and pay the money, complete the application form, you will be emailed by the company. You'll also be emailed by either Mitch or I as well, in addition, because you'll have access to us on an ongoing basis. We run this kind of call for our members, right? So we support our members as well as, you guys who are subscribers at the moment. And you'll be, by the company, you'll be sent a link, right, which you click on, and that will take you to a registration page where you enter the email address and password that you set up when you were creating your account, and that will log you in to that dashboard that we were looking at earlier on with Modern Wealthy and LaunchPad on it. And if you buy LaunchPad, you get given Modern Wealthy anyway. It's just included. Okay.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Right, good. We've got another. Is that dealt with your inquiry, Chris?
I think it pretty much does. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
what I've written down.
All right. Brilliant.
Thanks very much. Oh, very nice carpentry, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to have to go and plug this into a charger, so I've got to take you indoors. But look, Michael's iPad. Do you want to come out, Michael, and talk to us?
Okay. Thank you, John, for the presentation. I want a little clarity on the payment. Is it for when you make payment, is it for the full course? That's some of the programs you want to study. And is it monthly payment or yearly payment?
Yeah, you've got there's the choice of either. Okay, we just looked at that. If I just show you just very quickly, there will be a recording of this coming out, all right, and it will show you this, all right. So you can pay monthly if you want to go into the LaunchPad program, right, which is the program that you'll need if you want to build and launch a business. All right, Modern Wealthy won't really get you over the finish line, but Modern Wealthy is a very low cost experience that you can have of the community, of the training programs, of Stuart's, right? And as Mitch once said, it's like they give you all the books, right? You get all the information, but you're on your own, all right? If you come into Launchpad, you get everything you need. You get support, you get a website, you get hosting, you just get the lots. You get experts, you know, everything you need. So you can pay monthly. So it's $197 month one, and then $99 a month. Right, you can cancel any time. You can get your money back within 30 days if it isn't for you. You know, and there's a choice. All right, if you pay for the year up front, then you get around about $300 off. It looks like, and the Modern Wealthy program costs $37. So we won't labour this because you're gonna receive the recording. Probably, I think I'll probably get recordings out tomorrow. Mitch, I think, is pretty prompt. You know, certainly within the next day or two, you better watch this at your leisure. Okay. So, is there anything else you need to know, Michael?
Yeah. So 37. So the $37 is for a month. So every month you pay $37.
No. $37 is a one-time payment for the Modern Wealthy program. Okay.
Okay.
So one-time payment, and there's and again with the Modern Wealthy program, there's a full 30-day money-back guarantee. They actually even let you keep the course if you claim your money back. Right? That's how lovely they are.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Good. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Is there anybody else? Any more?
I'm just answering calls in the typing thing.
Yes.
I don't know if everyone can see them, but I'll just go through them quickly.
Yes.
Kami's just worried that he won't have enough time. Says, I'm hesitant till now that I'm afraid that starting online business will take away the focus off my current job. I haven't had that question before, because I usually get the question from a lot of folks who don't have a current job, and I get the question from a lot of folks who don't like their current job. But in my case, I did like my current job. My wife and I were running a guest house, and it was fantastic. And what I've decided, because I spend more and more time doing the online business, I've decided that on the day I turn 65, or thereabouts, we will stop working in the guest house. So that's my target. I want to get to 65 and have replaced all of our income, probably a bit more, and that's in 3 years' time for me. And so each week, each month, I do a little bit more online, especially in the winter because we don't have guests. But then we get to the stage where I deliberately decide, okay, I'm not going to work the guest house anymore. And we'll do that in stages. We'll take it off booking.com. So we only get direct bookings. And then after a couple of months, we'll probably take our booking platform off as well. And then it stops being a guest house. It just becomes a place where our friends come and stay. Because it's a wonderful place. And so that's my plan. But I think each person must decide for themselves what to do. And it's linked to how much success you get and what your ambition is. Because if you want to achieve a lot and earn a lot, it's going to take you longer than if you just want to keep an income ticking over. That's such a personal question. I can't really go further than that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it depends what you want, doesn't it? I mean, I think, you know, somebody said there are only really two questions, you know, what do you want and have you got it yet? Okay, that's what life's all about. What do you want? Cami, what do you want? That's what you've got to figure out. Okay, and if what you want is to be, you know, what you want is to strive for financial self-reliance and to be your own boss and to design your own lifestyle, right, then this is a way. Okay, I can't guarantee you success. That would be illegal. We're not allowed to make those kind of claims. That, you know, income claims are not allowed, because ultimately the success or otherwise of any online business is going to come down to the individual behind it, right? But we know that the training, the blueprint, the system, whatever you want to call it, we know that it works because people have gone on to just break all sorts of records with this. Okay, it depends what you want. All right.
And Sally's just asking, if you buy the LaunchPad, pay the full price, what's the cooling off period? Sally, it's 30 days. So I advise people on day 26 or something like that, 27. You have a, how's my wife say? You have a look at yourself in the mirror and you say, am I going to carry on? And if the answer is no, you shoot off an email to one of the help ladies and they give you a full refund. Or your microphone's off, Sally, so I can't hear you, unfortunately. It's in the bottom left, there's a little button you have to press there.
Yeah, Sally's put another question in. I would like a comfortable lifestyle. I'm very willing to try my best. I don't know what to do. So that we dealt with that.
That's one of my issues.
Yeah, we kind of dealt with that earlier on. Yeah, in as much as you will be taken, and you can do this inside the 30 days, right? You can get through module 1 in a few days. Watch the video because it's all introductory stuff. It's mostly just having your mind opened to what this is all about and what the possibilities are. Okay, but once you get into module 2, you're going to be put to work. There are going to be practical exercises, and you're going to go into this dive of self-discovery. All right, and if you cannot find right now in this moment the thing, all right, then it's always going to be recommended that you take on an affiliate offer, because by doing that you will have to set up the architecture of an online business. You'll have to get the automation in place. Okay, you'll have to get the systems in place, and once you've done that and you understand it, you can then apply that to any idea. You could even become an agency, and you can help local businesses get online. You can help local businesses with their Google pay-per-click ads. You know, I edit video. I make video and edit it now. I didn't do that 3 years ago. I love it. I find it really, it's like a creative outlet. Instead of doing my woodwork, I can have fun with video. You know, putting music on it, and you know, all that. So you don't know the skills and that you're going to adopt on the journey. Okay,
it's funny what John's saying, because I have built 2 websites for other people who've got guest houses, and I don't build the websites because I've got a friend in Zambia who builds a website for a lot less money than I'd want to charge. But I go and talk to the guests, then I help them get a photographer. I then write all the words for them, and I send that off to Andy. He pays me a fee for doing that, and then it's his customer. But it takes too much time. I don't want to do it anymore. Becoming choosy. I spend enough time working in our guest house, and I decided that all my other time I want to build the online businesses. I don't want to go and create other people's guest house websites, but I could have. And then now Andy does. Yeah.
That sounds great. It really, really does. I'm really quite interested, I must admit.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to sound like a salesperson. I don't want to do that.
No.
I really, and the idea isn't to manipulate or sell or hard sell or any of that. However, what I want to say is, because it's huge, it's massively changed my life. I feel like I'm already retired, and I don't qualify for the state pension yet because the money just comes in, right? So because I communicate with all my subscribers now by email on a very regular basis. Any of you here will know I'll probably drive you mad with my emails, but I always like to be in the inbox, right? So I use a lot of quotes and aphorisms and little mottos and so on and so forth. And one I came across a little while ago was, whatever we are not changing, we are choosing, right? No decision is a decision. No decision to change your future is still a decision, okay? And the only way, I mean, Mitch says this in one of his videos, you know, the only way that anybody's going to make any difference at all to their life and their lifestyle and their prospects and their future, particularly to people I'm talking to their retirement, is, you know, you've got to educate yourself, and you've just all you need are just the most basic skills. There are two skill sets, right? There's the techie stuff, which we've already said you can outsource that if you want to, if you're prepared to pay for that, right? Or you can be walked through the steps and you get help from experts. And then there's the communication, and it really isn't much more complicated than that. You're just going to have to settle on an offer that your heart is in, okay? If you haven't got your own thing that you're going to launch, and then you're going to learn how to communicate that to your ideal customer. They call it your ideal customer avatar. And you're going to speak to one person with all of your communication, whether it's on video or email or it's text on the internet, blog, whatever it is. You're going to learn about your customer avatar, and you're going to speak to one person, and it's the perfect customer. Okay? I mean, I know a girl. She's Russian. She's part of this community, and she advertises only to women. In her ad, she talks about makeup and beauty treatments and so on and so forth, and yet she still gets guys turning up. Talking to one person doesn't mean you're only going to connect with one person, but it clarifies the messaging, and it just intensifies the impact and the effect that you have in the real world, right? People will still resonate with that. Go on, Mitch. Go on.
That's okay. It makes it real. And that's the thing. Because I remember in the early lessons, Stuart said something, and I'll have this wrong, so please don't quote me, but something along the lines of you've only got to find 1,000 people in the world who are interested in your story, and that's it. You're done. And it's so true. I was chatting to one of our members, and she was struggling to find what she would do and how she would do it. And she wanted to help women build a business. And I said to her, that's a little bit broad, like half the world. And the problem, if you try and talk to half the world, I made that mistake when I started. I thought everybody should do this. And so you go out and say, everybody should do this, but you become one of those annoying things on YouTube. And she's gone right down. Turns out that she's actually divorced from her husband and moved away with her daughter because the husband was abusive. But she's starting to do stuff like that, helping ladies who have actually sort of semi-gone into hiding. And it's gone crazy because it's a much smaller audience, but it's real. And she's talking about something she really understands. And she doesn't have a product to sell or something like that, but she just tells the story of what made her decide, how she managed to pull it off, you know, all the things she had to be careful didn't go wrong, and she's got a whole lot of followers, and she's building up to, she doesn't know what she's going to teach these people, and just because that was the real her, and she's doing that.
Yeah, is that, Sally, is that enough? Is that enough feedback to your commentary for the moment?
It's fantastic. I really appreciate everything that you have said. I'm taking it all on board, and it means a lot. I just what Mitch said then about that lady. I really get that. I can really absorb that.
Yes.
Very, very interesting.
Okay, good.
So I have a lot of interests, a lot of hobbies myself, but I've got no expertise in any one of them. but maybe I can incorporate my interests and create something from that.
Yeah, here's another story. I know a guy that now he earns it's just short of £1,000 a time. He's got he's got an allotment somewhere up in North London, and he's online. Right, his business is online, and he doesn't spend any money on paid advertising. He does it all organically. He does it he posts in Facebook groups and things like this. And he's in his first 6 weeks of setting up his business, I think he got 9 or 10 clients at £1,000 each, and he teaches them online how to plant and grow vegetables in the vegetable plot. What is going on defies belief. All right. That's a true story. That is a true story.
Yeah, but you can understand it, because if you go now to your YouTube channel and type in their online education, just like that, about 1,000 videos will come up, and I promise you, some of them I would never talk to that person. They're stouty and in your face, and dare I say it, American, and blah, 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 and there's flashing things on the screen, and I just would never watch. So the folk who know me saw my video was just honest, and so those people have thought, maybe this guy is talking sense, and they've come along. And that's how the digital world works. You don't have to, like when I was much younger, you'd have to do like the Carlsberg ad on telly and hope that everybody watches the Carlsberg ad. And there wasn't this whole idea. It was all you got to do is find people who feel like a beer, and you can just target exactly to the right sort of person, have a chat, and if they don't watch your ad, they don't click, and you don't pay. It's a wonderful system. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
John,
right.
people are falling like flies now.
Yeah, I know.
We bored everyone to death.
Yeah, we're down to one page. Look, Michael's got his hand up. This is going to be the last one. Michael, come out, unmute yourself, come out. Let's deal with your inquiry, and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay. Michael's iPad got a raised hand. Is that an error?
Yeah. It might be that it was raised before.
Hello.
Hello, Michael.
Mitch, I'm getting interested with the affiliate offer. The affiliate offer. So can you throw a little light on this so that I can just get my question clear for you?
So what I did with the affiliates is I learned, first of all the LaunchPad learning, because I didn't know what I was doing. And then I got to the position where I wasn't sure, okay, what am I going to do now? And so Stuart suggests that you become an affiliate to sell LaunchPad. And the reason that made so much sense is because I could learn how to do Google and YouTube ads, put my autoresponder together and link all that up, but I didn't have to have a product. As soon as somebody clicked they were interested, it went through, as you would have all seen, into a video of Stuart. And then Stuart does the talking. And if you've got questions, they go to Stuart's team. They've got the products. They do the training. They do the Q&As. They've got the customer care section. They've got everything set up. So I started with that because you can sort of start with half a business. And I found that an enormously useful way to start. And then once I got that right, I did the one for teaching people how to run a guest house. But of course, to do that, I had to make the lessons myself. I had to have a system for taking payment. I have to have customer care. And it's a whole different kettle of fish. So it's really useful to start by being somebody who promotes Modern Wealthy, because you can learn the front half without having to do the back half, if that makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense. So how would the business locate me? How would business be able to locate me to help them advertise or project their business?
Yeah, look, so Mike. Oh, sorry, Mitch. Go on, you go.
I'll just answer quickly, John. This is something that you learn on putting your ads out on Google. So you type the sort of person that you want into Google, and they'll teach you this on the training. And then you don't have to worry. Google goes and finds those people, because as you all know, probably, Google knows everything about you. And so if you type in, I'm looking for mums who are just about to have their first baby, you pay Google and Google will find those people. That's not something you have to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Michael, I mean, that kind of question is covered in the training program. There are 60 lessons. I mean, we can't deal with those questions really, not comprehensively on this call. That's not what this is about.
Well, yeah.
That's not what this is about. This is about showing you that it isn't a scam, right? That it's real, and that you've got everything that you need in order to achieve whatever goals you have that you want to achieve in online business. But if you want to learn that kind of stuff, how to put the message in front of the right person, then you just have to get involved. And there's zero risk, because 30 days get your money back. But we're going to wind it up now. We're going to wrap it up because we've gone an hour and a half, and I'm going to get the recording out. All right. So if anybody missed, I saw Suzanne came in right at the end. You're a little bit late, Suzanne. We started an hour and a half ago, I'm afraid. But we come out live every month. It's usually the first Monday. All right. And just look out for an email nearer the time and you can join this call live. But you'll be receiving the recording within a day or two. So with that, I'm going to sign off and wrap it up. So thank you very much, everybody, for attending.
Thanks for chatting. Thanks for the questions, Sally and everybody, and Chris, anyone who asked a question. We'll send the recording out, and if you have more questions, the people who are with me, just email me. We'll answer.
Yeah, likewise.
Okay. Nice
guys.
to see faces instead of email addresses.
Thank you.
Okay. Toodaloo. Ciao, ciao.
Cheers, man.